So let's talk about a story that's, well, it's a tough one. It's about public perception, private pain, and a very famous family dealing with incredible stress, all under the intense glare of the spotlight. It's a story about a pretty shocking transformation and the absolute firestorm that came after. Okay, so just look at these two photos. They were taken only a year apart, and man, have they set the internet on fire. The change in Kelly Osbourne's appearance is so drastic, it's left a lot of people just completely stunned, trying to figure out how these are both the same person. This whole thing really blew up after she posted a video recently. Her followers were totally confused, looking at the person on their screen and trying to square it with the Kelly Osbourne they thought they knew. And the comments? Wow, they started pouring in. Stuff like this one. People were saying they straight up did not recognize her face or her look at all. The only thing that felt familiar to a lot of them was her voice, with that unmistakable Osbourne sound. So you know how it goes online, that initial shock? It didn't take long for it to morph into something else. We're talking a flood of online comments, and they were all over the map, from people who seemed genuinely worried to others who were just being, well, super critical. Questions like this started popping up everywhere on social media. People began calling her out directly on her new look, pretty much demanding an explanation for what was going on. And listen, it wasn't just random people on the internet. Even other celebrities like the actor Balthazar Getty spoke up. That's when you know the concern is being felt inside her own circles too. And very quickly, all that speculation started to circle around one thing. One word we're all hearing constantly: Ozempic. These GLP-1 drugs have become a massive lightning rod anytime a celebrity's body changes. But Kelly wasn't just going to sit back and let this happen. She came out with a defense that was, well, it was raw. It was emotional. And it tried to completely reframe the entire conversation away from weight loss drugs to something way, way more personal. She connected it directly, and I mean powerfully, to the devastating struggle her family is going through. The emotional toll of her dad, Ozzy Osbourne's very public battle with Parkinson's disease. And this is really her whole point, right? She's basically saying, you're right, I do look sick, but you've got the reason all wrong. She's arguing her appearance is just a reflection of her family's private battle, not what everyone's whispering about. As this whole thing was exploding online, a famously protective figure stepped into the ring. Who else but her mom, Sharon Osbourne, coming to her daughter's defense like she's done so many times. And Sharon's explanation was, well, it was both simple and just heartbreaking. She said Kelly's weight loss is because of the insane stress on their family. She said flat out that her daughter has been so focused on her dad that she just hasn't been eating. Then she aimed her fire right at the online critics. She basically dismissed their comments, saying this isn't about genuine concern. For her, it's just a reflection of their own unhappiness and jealousy. Okay, but here's where the whole story gets a lot trickier. Because while the family is talking about stress, their own public history with Ozempic is, let's just say it's complicated. And it's full of contradictions. And this, right here, is the thing that fuels so much of the public skepticism. Kelly herself has said two completely different things. First, she flat out denied ever using the drug. But later, she not only admitted it, she was praising it, calling it amazing and lashing out at critics. You just can't have it both ways. And it's not just Kelly. Her mom, Sharon, has had this really public and frankly pretty terrifying experience with Ozempic herself. We're talking sources saying her friends were desperately worried about how much weight she'd lost. Just how extreme was it? Well, Sharon herself said the drug took her down to under 100 pounds. And even scarier, she says now she physically can't gain the weight back. She's been super open about it, admitting she feels she's gone too far, that she looks gaunt. She's even shared that Ozzy himself was not a fan of the extreme weight loss, even nicknaming her Nancy Reagan because of how thin she got. So you start to see that this is about so much more than one person's transformation, right? This taps into a whole family legacy, decades of public pressure, and this really painful, complicated relationship with body image. I mean, think about Sharon's story alone. She's been talking about this stuff for years, from weighing over 225 pounds to getting gastric band surgery way back in 1999. She's even compared her own issues with food to Ozzy's infamous drug addictions. It all paints a picture of this deep desperation, one that led her to Ozempic with that mindset of I want it and I want it now. So where does this leave us? You've got this deeply human story about family struggle and body image playing out inside this public circus fueled by controversy. And it leaves us with a really important question to think about. In this age of social media, when a public figure is so clearly going through it, where do we draw the line between genuine concern and invasive judgment?